Welcome back. Today I will recap episodes 5 and 6 of the 2019 French horror streaming television series named Marion. Before we start, it is a request to please like and comment on the video as it will help us to grow our reach. At the beginning of the 5th episode, we are shown the sinkhole from which Marion says lend me your ear as it's time to learn. The scene shifts and we see Emma at the old lighthouse school standing in front of a class. She enters the class where a green board opens and she finds "You are punished" written on it. She then sees a girl standing behind a door, and when she goes there to check, she finds herself as a teenager who asks her if she can sit now. Emma says yes and asks her if she is Marion, to which she says she is Emma and asks her who she is. Emma smiles and grabs her neck, and suddenly teenager Emma wakes up from sleep and realizes that she wet herself again. Later, we see her with her friends, and she tells them that her dreams are different, but the same thing chases her, like an entity or a witch, and her name is Marion. Caroline says if it's the same entity and has a name, they can summon it. They disagree with her, saying they don't believe in such things, but Caroline shows them an Ouija board she had made. She tells them that it's against the nature to contact these things, but one of them is disturbing their friend, so let's tell her to quit messing with the wrecked kids. However, Aura leaves there saying she is out. Later, Emma tells Aura that it might be fun to be scared and it might have a psychological impact. Only then Lucy comes there and says she heard that Emma wet the bed and that she stopped 4 years ago. She then runs away from there to hide, and Aura tells Emma to find her and she will do the seance. Later that night, they all sneak into the old lighthouse school, and Caroline tells them that it doesn't matter what they think or believe, but for the next hour, no cynicism, teasing, or kidding around. Now before they start, Caroline says from now on, nobody talks except when she asks them to. Do not break the circle till the end, or it could be dangerous. They then begin summoning Marion and ask her to show herself and guide them. After a while, Emma opens her eyes hearing Marion's voice, but no one else could hear her. Only then Emma notices her creeping behind the door, and she tries to tell them, but Caroline tells her to shut up. The door of a cabinet then opens on its own, and Emma gets terrified and tells them to look. Caroline asks her what's wrong, to which she says she is here and points her finger toward the cabinet. They say they don't see anything there, and Sebi gets up to shut the door, but Caroline stops him saying don't break the circle before the seance ends. Emma says it's not in, but next to it, and then Marion shows herself to Emma. Suddenly it appears behind Aurora and possesses Emma, seeing that they all get spooked. She asks Caroline if she thinks she will spell her answers, and tell her that she will hang herself. She tells Arnaud to love his brother better because soon he won't be able to. Sebi's children will be hers, and she and her husband will eat them, and at last, she tells Aura that she never leaves empty-handed, and then she faints. Scared and angry at Emma, Aura refuses to believe that Emma was possessed. Emma tells her that it wasn't her speaking, to which Arnaud asks her then who said it. Caroline tries to explain that it's complicated with these things, but Aura says it was Emma and she is a liar, and then she leaves there. The next day, Emma goes to see Lucy at the school with the plan to go home with her to speak to her sister. Before leaving, Lucy snatches her phone and runs away, telling her to find her and get it back. Now as Emma comes out looking for her, we see Lucy hiding in a chest freezer, but it gets locked as she closes its door. Emma comes there and notices the freezer there, but before she could check it, Marion plays a trick and takes the form of Lucy, leading her away from the real little girl. She comes back to the classroom and finds Lucy trying to hide there between the chairs. However, when she bends, she gets shocked to see Lucy's toy there. Meanwhile, we see Lucy crying in the freezer and Marion haunts her. Here, a board turns and Emma gets spooked seeing it, and when she comes out to check the freezer, she gets terrified seeing frozen dead Lucy inside it. Later that night, Emma hears some noise in her room, and she gets spooked seeing Lucy's toy on her desk. It says she punished her, and only then Lucy haunts her saying she left her. Emma throws the bedsheet on her and gets off the bed. The entity under the bedsheet then gets up and begins moving toward her, and it turns into Marion. The next day, she goes to the church to confess to the priest. Father Xavier gets surprised to see her there and asks her if she knows how to confess. She says no, to which he tells her to confess all her sins one by one. She tells him everything from starting to end about the incidents happening with her and how Marion is haunting her. Father Xavier believes her and tells her that the thing she summoned with her friends is real, is evil, and it will do what it told her. She asks him what do they do now, to which he says there is no we here, as the thing has attached itself to her and she has to take it away. If she truly loves her friends and wants to save them, she has to leave them and go away. Emma says her parents won't let her, to which he says except if she hurt them. She must hurt everyone and earn her exile. Later, Emma writes an article about mothers, destroys her neighbors' cars, and even vandalizes the church. She then comes out and asks Father if she is unforgivable enough. Father rushes in and finds Eldon is Satan's church written on the floor, and then he notices that the statue of Jesus is broken. Now when her parents read that hurtful article about her mother, her dad says she has to go as he can't handle it. The next day, when her mother goes to drop her, she asks Emma why she is so mad at her. Emma says it's not aimed at her, to which she says she did what she could as a mother and apologizes if it wasn't enough. Emma says her bus is leaving soon and she gets out of the car saying bye to her. Sebi then comes there to talk to her and tell her that he knows it's not really her. She asks him how he knows, to which he says he loves her. Emma pushes him down and kisses him and tells him to get off the bus and let her leave and that she will come back when she is famous. Once out of town, she begins writing about everything in a notebook and starts telling stories about Lizzie and Marion. We then cut back to the present where Emma was telling her story to Ronan, and he says Marion is not alone. Emma says she knows, as she saw that demon in her dreams. She asks him how they kill this witch, to which he says can they even kill something that's already dead. Only then someone knocks on the door, and when Emma goes to open the door, Sebi tells her that she took his son, and hearing this, Ronan says they will find a way to crush that witch. Episode 6 of Marion begins with Ronan explaining that he has been going through all of Emma's books, and found horror passages that have become true in different countries of the world. Emma says she is doing this and leaves there. Ronan comes to her and tells her that she has no more power over this than Mrs. Dodgerin, as she tortured her husband. She is a witch, she manipulates, possesses, and hurts, and Emma is just a tool. She asks him why her, to which he says he doesn't know, but she shouldn't write anymore. Sebi says why doesn't she write Marion's death on the website? Right, she gives his son back and then kills her. Emma grabs her laptop and begins writing, but Ronan has a feeling that this is not that easy, because they are talking about a witch ruled by a demon. Only then do the lights there go off, and Emma gets terrified seeing that Ronan and Sebi are possessed. She realizes that she is dreaming, and then she finds a crow on her laptop, who attacks her, and Emma wakes up screaming. Ronan and Sebi tell her that she collapsed on her keyboard 2 minutes ago. She then decides to go as per Ronan's plan, and when Sebi says he is coming with her, she says no, as she and Ronan have nothing left to lose, but she must get his kid back. Later, Sebi with Arnaud and Aura come to her, and they say they want to contact the dead as Marion is using Aura's sister. Tonio still isn't back, and she has Sebi's son. Ronan asks them if they know who they are contacting, to which Aura says they do. Later that night, they enter the same classroom of their school, and Ronan tells them that he will summon her with her actual name, so she will have to leave her hiding place in order to come here. She will figure she has a real opportunity to hurt them, to enter one of them, and then he will force her to speak. She will tell them where the child is, and then he will summon her and trap her inside the priest's dog. They will keep him away from everyone, and they keep him alive, and this will be her new prison. Ronan then begins the process, and he tells them about thermostat bulbs that react as the temperature changes. Emma says she never felt a shift in temperature, to which he says he goes with his beliefs. He then begins the seance, and soon after, Emma feels the presence of Marion there. The door of that cabinet opens again, and while Emma is looking around, Aura tells her to close her eyes. She closes her eyes, and they wait for Marion to come there, but after a while, Ronan tells them that it's not working. He says they can open their eyes and tells them that he gave her orders and summoned her by her actual name, but she won't obey. Aura then brings the dog to a storeroom to leave him there. We flash back to 2 days ago in the hospital. Emma's dad, who is in the same room as an unconscious Camille, hears Marion's voice. He wakes up and looks around and gets spooked seeing Camille staring at him. The next day, he wakes up hearing a child's cry and sees Sebi and the nurse running towards the nursery. He then sees Camille standing in front of him with a creepy smile. She then lays back down and inserts the breathing tube back into her mouth. We then forward to the same night as the ritual, where Mr. Larisman gets spooked to see that possessed Camille gets up and is about to stab the nurse. However, suddenly she drops the knife and her mouth opens wide when Ronan calls for the spirit of Marion to appear. The nurse gets terrified seeing this, and they see her levitating in the air, and as Marion leaves Camille's body in the form of smoke, she falls down. Back at the lighthouse, Arnaud and Aura decide to sleep inside the car, as Arnaud doesn't want to sleep where a Satanist's ghost was invoked. They then have a funny heart-to-heart where she finally reveals her feelings for him. Arnaud says every time they were together, he was just normal and she pretended to be just a friend. Aura says she is going to give the dog water, but when she reaches there, she finds that someone has freed him. Meanwhile, Ronan notices someone's presence in the class and the witch tells him that she is not there, but she is in his hand. He opens his necklace box and tries to look through it, and he sees Marion's reflection in the cabinet behind him. She then suddenly haunts him, and only then do Aura and Arnaud come there and she tell them that someone freed the dog. Ronan says it worked and he saw her right here. She has been here all along, and she must be one of them now. The gang starts doubting each other, but Ronan asks them to stop and takes out his gun. He says he saw who freed the dog and reveals he himself did it. He saw himself doing it, and then he sat there. For a long time, she watched them with his eyes. He says she has taken him, and she will become them all one by one, and they will die like him. He then shoots himself in the head, and the episode ends here. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.